Welcome back to Oxford, the Pizza Bowl here in 2017, an 8-5 lead for the Red Squad, managed by Dallas Wofolk. We got head coach Mike Bianco joining us now here, and it's an exciting night. It's a great chance for your guys to go at it against each other. I know they're playing for pizza, but as I said to everybody, it's more about the bragging rights, isn't it?
Well, what's bigger than pizza? For an 18 to 22-year-old kid, pizza's pretty big. If you're not playing for money, probably pizza's the next best.
That's
thing.
what Dallas said. Dallas goes, "You got to love pizza."
I think they all love pizza, and but you're right. I think the bragging rights and for them to really control the game. We try to set up the draft to where there's enough pitchers on each team, and there's the position players are going to be evenly distributed. But really, besides that, it's up to Dallas and up to James and some of the other guys that they have in the dugout to help them. Put a lineup together, make pitching decisions, and I really like this format. It kind of set up with this 12-inning one game. There's been years where we've played best of 5, we've played best of 3, but the way we're set up this year, where we didn't pitch 5 of the stronger pitchers this fall, and held them out, and because we're over here at Oxford only 2 days a week, the pitching we don't have the innings, I think, in the pitcher's arms to really go more than this.
How do you think the guys have managed so far? A lot of mound visits out there, changing their pitchers. How do you think they've done so far?
I think they've done great, and watch James with a visit a couple innings ago with Coates on the mound and got 3 quick outs after that, and he kind of looked at me and he goes, "That's how it's supposed to be done, right? You go to the mound and you get 3 quick outs." So I know they're having. That's one. That's going to be foul, but caught.
Almost overruns it, but that's the first time we've seen Tim Rowe in a while get retired. So
yeah,
good job by Connor Green.
Tim's got a hold of a couple tonight, but we've had a little bit of everything. Tonight. I think at the beginning of the game, the pitchers dominated. Feigl gives up a couple early, but then really settles in. And I thought Austin Miller pitched really well, and a chance for a lot of our fans to see him for the first time. But then somewhere around the bottom of the 5th, bottom of the 6th, they were offense were able to get it going.
I think what's been fun, and we talk about how the competition is a big part of this, but you talk to Brady, you talk to Dallas, and they say you can't help but cheer on the guy on the other side of the field, even if they're hitting your own pitcher, because you see at any given moment the pitcher can be flashing, or a hitter's going to maybe give you a run sometime in the spring, so you can't be mad at them figuring out the tough pitching staff.
No doubt, but that's Brady being nice. There's no doubt that I think they all want to have success tonight for their respective teams, and there is. You can see it in the dugout, and I've tried to go back and forth to the dugouts and to be able to see just the emotion in the dugout and how they're rooting for their own team to win tonight.
I think Brady put it the best so far, asking him, you see a guy, he gets a chance, he gets drafted, and he opts to come back, and he says, "We've got unfinished business."
Yeah.
And I think that's really says something about this team, and I know last year you heard enough about it. This team's young, Coach, but now that those freshmen that had major roles have seen the SEC, they know what it's like to be a college baseball player, and the expectations are here once again, and it does feel like this team has unfinished business.
Well, I think so, and it's been said, a few times this fall that there's not a guy on the field, from a lot of the seniors and Stokes and Golson that have ever won a postseason game. They've been to postseason a few times, but they've never won. We've even hosted, while they've been here, a postseason tournament, in a regional a couple of years ago, but yet we have yet to win one, and so I think they really feel that they're on a mission this year. And you're right, much was said about last year's team and how young they were, how talented, but how young. And this year it's amazing in our sport of baseball, what a difference a year makes. And in a lot of the other sports where you look at guys in their 4th year or redshirt seniors in their 5th season, but in baseball in just one season you can grow up in a hurry.
You mentioned how we're here at Oxford twice a week. It's because of the renovations going on at Swayze. How are they going, and how exciting is it to have all the new additions to the field?
Well, it's real exciting, and we the things are going really well. I think if you're in Oxford and you've driven by it, you can see even from Old Taylor Road, the construction. But they just finished this week, just a couple days ago, the backstop wall, and so that's really coming together. And they should be done and off the field in another another maybe 2 or 3 weeks where we'll start replacing the artificial surface behind home plate and down both the right and left field lines. The performance center is just amazing. We're with each week they're really progressing, and we've been able to walk through it a little bit and see, because they got the concrete poured on just about all the levels, and it's just a massive building. And so that's a nice play there by Servideo. Ooh, but not a catch there by Zebo.
Moves runners to second and third with 2 outs as this blue team tries to claw back into it, down 8-5.
Yeah, as he brings the tying run to the plate, huh?
It'll be Tim Elko, freshman from Florida. Coach, your season begins on February 16th when you take on Winthrop. You got Tulane, and I know Long Beach State's the one that everybody's excited about, getting to go out to California, and that's going to be sunny and fun out in the winter months. But for you, that's a great chance to go out and play the Dirtbags. A pretty good baseball team and get better.
No doubt. You're exactly right, and it's why it's scheduled. And we always try to challenge ourselves, with the first 4 weeks, and especially one trip on the road, and to go to Long Beach State and play one of those traditional powers, a team that's been to the World Series several times. Play them, on the road, so it'll be a good test, for us to be on the road and kind of test ourselves early.
We got a couple months before the season starts. Last question for you. What can we expect from this Ole Miss baseball team come February?
Well, I really like the team. We return a lot. I think when our fans, get to see us play, you'll realize how many guys we do return on the field. I think we're going to be special on the mound. Obviously, last year, one of the things that we didn't do well was score a lot of runs. Right. And but this team's a lot different. You can even see, tonight that we're swinging a lot better with a lot more confidence.
Well, Coach, best of luck. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks, Seth. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, buddy.